Today, we are talking about the new Attention Star Sequence 2 coming up. The Attention Star is one of my favorite pieces in my arsenal right now that I use a lot. So I was pretty excited that we were going to be getting a new version with the eTrax Plus Hybrid cover stock. Now, the eTrax Plus Hybrid has been used before on the TNT Infused, but I'm pretty sure that that was 2 parts pearl, 1 part solid, and I don't know the makeup of this particular ball. I don't have any information on that, but from my perspective, it seems like it is either some combination of basically 50-50 or 2 parts solid to 1 part pearl, just based on how it looks and how it rolls. Just like the original Attention Star, we have the Momentous AV Plus core with AI technology. The only line that has this core are these Attention Stars, so it is something that is just for these particular balls. This is mine. It's another 4.5-inch pin to pap. I don't have the angle to the mass bias for a couple of reasons. 1, because I forgot to measure it and write it down. And 2, because, after watching a few of these, you should know I kind of don't care. I have the holes in it sort of the same way when I drill everything brand new. I see what it does. I see how usable it is. And then I may make some adjustments, try one a different way, and kind of get a little more scientific about it after I see how it rolls. So for the time being, that's all I got for you. So I apologize for that. If you're looking for something a little more in-depth, if I get a chance to measure it, I will throw it in the description below. Let's take a look at it. So I will say, while we're watching the first few shots here, that I did use this immediately after drilling it in 2 tournaments. They were both on longer patterns. I used it at a PBA regional on the 48-foot shark pattern, and at a pretty big non-PBA event down in Pennsylvania that had a 46-foot pattern as well. And I used it for, I want to say, the first 4 games of qualifying on shark, as well as basically all of match play, and all 5 games of qualifying down in Pennsylvania on the 46-foot pattern. And I finished in the top 4 of both of those tournaments. So it was a pretty successful, new ball out of the box for me. As you can see from looking at it here, we're looking at something that is certainly going to be a smoother option than the original Attention Star, which actually I feel pretty good about. It will allow me to have a similar shape. We have the same core, but something that I can use earlier in blocks, and then I can get to an Attention Star, have a pretty seamless transition from one to the other. As I said, I did use it on the fresh, but when we compare it to the ball we're going to see in a little bit, which is the XL, we'll be able to talk about how strong it is and what part of blocks it's probably best used as. As you can see here, as I try to get a little bit deeper and try to open up my angles, it had a hard time getting around the corner and being able to hit. But overall, a very smooth and dependable ball motion. Here are some shots with the XL. And, right off the gate, I don't remember if these first couple were bad shots, if I did something to make these ones go through the face, because I don't believe I moved, and you'll see kind of going here, it looks a little closer to what we had with the Attention Star. I would argue that it probably is a little bit of a stronger cover stock. It is solid and not hybrid, so we would expect it to be the case, and it is also something that we're going to be using early in blocks as well. What I will say when I have used both of them now is that I can use the Attention Star S2 for longer into a block than I can this XL. There is a point with this XL when it is too slow response, my angles are too open, or there's too much oil down the lane, and I have to get away from it. And I would go to something like, for example, this Attention Star S2, or a number of different options that are a little quicker on the response time scale. And you can see from some of these shots here that, as I make my way left, the XL is doing better with the amount of oil in the middle part of the lane and still being able to get reading a little more than the Attention Star S2 is. But for the same reasons as we saw before, it is still a ball that is very smooth and that will have a hard time getting back and getting through the pins properly when we're really trying to get deep and hook it a little bit more. And then you can see here I also went back to the Attention Star S2 from where I just struck with that XL, and you can definitely see the weakness in this shot for sure. So when we're talking about response time and friction characteristics of this ball, we're always want to be looking into when is this best used. And it does not create as much friction as some of the stronger balls that we have in our arsenal, the Ion Maxes, the Sublime Focus type of balls, even the XL to some extent too. It kind of slots in just under that. So I would say that I would classify this as a medium friction. It can be used on the fresh because of the characteristics of how it responds to friction, but I don't think that it's on the same level as some of those other balls. And when we're talking about usability from a response time standpoint, like we said, I think that we want to be in the medium slow to medium range. This is something that we want to use in the early to middle part of blocks where we're still sort of dealing with the beginning transition. It can certainly be used on the slower end of the spectrum right out of the gate if that's what you need, but it can also be used in the middle part of blocks as a transition from our first stronger, slower ball into something like this, if that's what the pattern and the way that the field is playing that pattern calls for. And that's the thing that gets me most excited about this ball. It is the versatility. I've already been able to use it in a number of environments where I was a little bit surprised to be able to keep it in my hand as long as I did and still have all the success that I did. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else it will do as I get a chance to throw it in more tournament environments and on more patterns. As usual, I want to thank the people that helped me do this, Storm and Roto Grip for the best balls on the market, Vice Inserts for the best inserts on the market. And as usual, we film all these at Bright Angelo Lanes. Tim Friends from Friends Photography helps me out in doing all of the video portions of this. And then Bowl U, which I think is a resource that everybody should use if you want to get better. When it comes to what is coming out next, I have a couple of other balls that are already filmed that I want to get to. Hopefully have one here very shortly. I did run into an issue with my external hard drive today that I need to investigate, so hopefully we did not lose any of that and have to refilm. So hopefully soon, and if there is an issue, we will try to get things refilmed as fast as possible if necessary. Thanks for watching.